Knowledge. We take it for granted. We forget the power that knowledge has. For centuries, education and knowledge has been revealing to us problems in society in the hope that we can fix them. These problems, however, are still plaguing us. For example, farm workers' rights. Farm workers have come a long way since Cesar Chavez and the farm labor movement of the 60s. However, farm workers still face tough times. Many farm workers are laboring long, strenuous days for low wages and bad working conditions, like in this bill. And often, farm workers are silenced in fear of losing their job. Farm workers' rights are a very complex issue. Complexity arises in this topic when we look at how to improve these rights. In the video that you're about to watch, I help prove my claim that if people are more knowledgeable about the problem of farm workers' rights, then we could help increase these rights. Knowledge that there is a problem helps reveal to people the reality of the situation and makes them move to action. And so, I set out to interview people throughout California, asking them various questions about farm workers' rights in the hopes of educating them about the problem so they could support farm workers' rights too.
So, tell us your name.
My name's Jacob.
So, Jacob, what do you know about farm workers and their rights?
Well, I know that in the United States that we have a really love-hate relationship with farm workers in the United States. There have been many instances where they're treated unjustly and unfairly, and are actually not being paid their fair share for the work that they are doing, and they're actually just treated to just these conditions that are inhumane by any definition, and so it's just overall a problem that is kind of being ignored, and it has been ignored for many years. Cesar Chavez was like one of the first ones to really stand up for farm worker rights, and even though he did make advancements there, today it's still just not right.
So, because of your prior knowledge of the history and the horrible treatments of farm workers, you do support increasing farm workers' rights, correct? Or no?
Yes, I strongly believe that we should be protecting the very people that are producing our food for our consumption, because it's just at a point it becomes slave labor in a way if we just kind of let these inhumane conditions just continue to happen. So yes, I do believe that there should be rights for farm workers.
How do you think we as Americans can support these rights, and how can we achieve these rights together?
Well, I think it number one starts with us, the consumers. So that means being able to buy smart. So searching for labels and brands that are actually in support of farm workers, and they actually give them livable wages and they treat them justly. So that starts number one, such as fair trade or even the Whole Food Certified stamp. So that's the first step. It comes from us consumers, and then that's probably the easiest way for consumers to feel like they're doing their part, which they actually are, because they're supporting businesses that justly treat workers. And then number two, it just goes into after we get a widespread movement, it turns to legislation. So number one, it just starts with the consumers.
Are you currently buying smart?
Yes, I make a very active effort to make sure that I am buying smart and supporting these businesses that actually ethically treat their workers right. So I try to steer clear of just any brand that I know of that just doesn't care, just kind of just buys cheap so that they can make a profit. So I mean, I'm willing to spend the extra dollar or two to be able to support businesses that support farm workers.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
So tell us your name. Alec? Alright, Alec. What do you know about farm workers and what they do?
I don't know much. I know they work really hard. It's hot out there, so it can be really tough.
What do you know about the current conversation surrounding farm workers and the fight to improve their rights?
There's a conversation. I didn't know anything about that, to be honest with you.
You never got any mail, you never saw it on the TV, no one's ever come and tried to talk to you about it?
Never.
Never. And so, I'm going to read you some facts now, and I want you to tell me how you feel after reading these facts. According to the Bureau of Labor, on average, more than one farm worker dies every day. This makes farm work 7 times more fatal than private industry. Another statistic says that only 2% of farm workers belong to unions. How do you feel?
I didn't know they were being treated like that, to be honest with you. Is there any way I could spread the word or help?
There is ways you can help, and it's true. Farm workers do not get the voice they need. And some ways we can help is if we pay a little bit more at the grocery store, if we if we buy food that's union approved, products that the union says, you know what, buy these because these are companies that support farm workers' rights. Those are some ways we can help.
I agree. It's 2018. They should be getting their rights by now, to be honest with you. So
Definitely. Thank you, Alex.
no problem.
Hi, so what's your name?
Hi, my name is Sonia.
Hi, Sonia. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a few questions now. What do you know about farm workers and what they do?
I clearly don't have too much knowledge of farm workers and what they do.
Do you have any knowledge about farm workers and their rights? Do you believe there's a problem in this area?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you because I don't have knowledge of what their rights really are, so I couldn't tell you.
Alright, so now I'm gonna read you a quote from the Huffington Post. Family income for 30% of all farm labor falls below the federal poverty line. And according to the Justice Department, over 1,000 farm workers have been freed from slavery from farm labor. How do you feel about these facts?
Wow, it's crazy.
Now that you have this information, are you more inclined to support or not support farm workers' rights now that you have this knowledge?
I'm definitely going to support that.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you some ways we can help farm workers' rights. One way is that we can buy products that are union approved, like grapes or lettuce. Another way is we can improve farm workers' rights if we know where our food comes from. Knowing where our food comes from helps us understand if the growers or the company who hires those farm workers are treating them right. Are you willing to do these changes?
Yes,
Great, thank you for your time.
thank you.
As you have seen from this video, knowledge has helped people become more aware of farm workers' issues and made them more inclined to support farm workers' rights through various ways. However, some people in the video had prior knowledge of the problem, like Jacob, and was already doing stuff to help fight for farm workers' rights. And so, the purpose of this video was not to make you feel guilty. This video is not supposed to undermine the work that hundreds of activists and unions are working towards. Farm worker activists and organizations like the National Farm Workers Association are doing good work. They help workers know the rights that they currently have. They are forming marches and supporting legislation that helps farm workers, like Assembly Bill 1066 that recently passed in California. They are holding companies like Juro Farming accountable for their lack of care for farm workers' rights. And while this is really good work, they are missing a key factor in all of it. We need to get society understanding that there is a problem, that we need to start campaigns that begin to inform people of farm workers' rights abuse. We need to tell people through the media or by mail of the abuses that farm workers go through every day. We need to tell them the truth so that they can begin to join the fight for more farm workers' rights. I'm Hector Estrada. Thanks for watching.